record on because I forgot. There we go. Cool. Okay. So we left off last time where you were literally in the house of Jacob, the Richard O'Brien mage, that you'd smashed his head in with a brick.
After getting lots of useful information.
You did get lots of useful information.
Can you just carry around that brick like a mascot now for me? That would properly cheer me up.
Wear it around.
Like Flavor Flav, just a big brick.
Well,
It's bricky brick.
But the brick.
Why do they call it the brick? Well, he just smashes people's heads with it. Oh, that's less inventive than I thought. Right. Okay.
Oh, it's a brick on a chain.
Oh no. Yeah, so we left off where you're in the house of Jacob. Helmut found the letter that you know when there's the next, well, when they are going to come to the town again, or the mutants are going to come to the town again, we believe. Yeah, so I know we said a brief chat about what you want to do, but what are you doing first? Because it's current the riot that was out, the sort of gathering that was outside, it has started to die down a bit because the guards knocked the door to check if everything was okay, which you kind of saw them off. But there's no like massive riot outside at the moment. It's fairly calm. There is a slowly cooling dead body of a probably Chaos cultist on the floor. And you've had a good go through his belongings. There was nothing particularly interesting apart from the letter you found, Helmut.
You said there was it 4 gold, you said there was?
Yeah, probably.
Helmut's got his priorities straight there.
It's probably silver, actually, but I don't care. It'd be the middle one. It would be the top one. One thing I left off the letter, actually, which I should have put on, I'm sorry, is it says they'll return again at the next full moon, and it mentions a name, actually. And the name that you hear is they will be led by Jakim Halfbeast.
Jesus Christ.
You don't hear the name, you read the name, unless there's a letter that speaks, in which case it's probably magic.
Someone's got to read it out loud for me to know the name, because I can't read. So I do hear the name.
I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to share this information with the party. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, Jakim Halfbeast, which is
Jesus Christ.
the name that you got. Jesus H Halfbeast. Yeah, that's just so you know. So what are you doing? What would you like to do, team?
So it's probably... Sorry, Ed?
Has this guy got any nice food in his pantry?
Yeah, he's got food in there. Yeah,
Lots of mushrooms.
There's a lot of weird stuff in there, but yeah, he's got like some fish. They like fish in this town.
All right.
Let's put that down the back of the bed or something and stove, stick it all out.
Oh yeah, he's got loads of roll mops. Chaos cultists fucking love roll mops.
Every roll mop, but off we go.
That's what the tattoo is. The tattoo he's got is actually just an unrolled roll mop. The order of the unraveled roll mop is
the unrolling.
The worst chaos cults in all of Reichland. Yeah. Okay, go. What are you guys doing?
I'm eating my roll mops.
Okay, they taste good.
Cocker?
Right. Yeah, Cocker. Let's go see Cocker.
Yep.
You took his letter seal type thing.
Yeah, I've got that as like a thing to confirm death. Yep.
And were we going to take a bit of the green dust as proof as well, or not?
You've got some in a little bag, haven't you?
I wasn't. I don't want to be anywhere near that stuff.
Well, we know Cocker wants to get rid of it. My thing is that actually that letter stamp could just be pilfered and not proof of death. Actually, taking this might be bigger proof.
Well, we can just tell them to watch the place, can't we? Because it's not as if we're sending the letter as well to the witch hunter right now.
I mean, there's writing materials right here, Helmut. So if you want to write your love letter, you could do it now.
I mean, I don't think that's in any rush. I'd rather get out of the house with the person we just murdered first.
wants to use his perfumed inks.
You get his calligraphy set out.
Not going to write a any old ink. No glitter here at all.
Little fold up a little nice little freshly washed pair of breeches in there as well. Put those in. Little kiss
No,
on them.
not freshly washed, mate.
Oh
worn.
yeah, fair. Yeah,
Oh.
fair. It's more valuable, isn't it?
That kind of
Perhaps,
Right,
we
should we just go see Cocker first?
perhaps we should leave through the tunnels though, rather than going out through the front door of the house where we just murdered someone.
I agree.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, let's leave the
Yeah.
door unlocked and then head down into the tunnel
To the
Into the
creepy
tunnels.
tunnels. Okay.
and head out the way we haven't been, right?
Yeah, you haven't been out the way that goes out of town. You came into town. Bring the little map up actually for a second.
Oh, I love the little map.
Let's get the little map. See, put it on my second screen because I'm a posh boy. I can't. I need to get a different thing for showing it. Okay, the little map. Ta-da! So his house is around here. You found that you went this way in the tunnel, which when it gets to here, it splits off. That tunnel has collapsed. Whatever goes that way has collapsed at some point. This one, leads to the temple. And then the other way you haven't been is this way, which goes outwards out of the town.
Okay.
So you're heading that way, yeah? It's pitch black down there, so I'm assuming you're lighting some sort of torch or something.
One would
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. It's you as you go this way. The tunnel is pretty wide enough that you can go sort of two a piece down there. It smells of river water and underground and moss and awfulness, and you actually go out for about. You would imagine you can see the large stakes that come down into the ground, which are going to be the fence. You see one punching through almost in the middle of the tunnel that you have to squeeze yourself around. After that, it heads out for about 200 meters, and then comes to just an end. And there is above you that you can see the light sort of coming through the trees a little bit. And you are out in the kind of very edges of the forest.
Okay. So just in rough relation to the rest of the town, whereabouts are we then?
You
Coming
are
up to the east.
Yeah. Let me get my little thingy map thing up.
Yeah, as well. Are there obvious paths here from does this indicate any kind of clearer route into the forest for where the beast might come from, or?
Do any of you have anything like outdoor survival or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got a bit of outdoor survival.
Yeah.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, make an outdoor survival roll.
Indoors.
It's an average one.
Yeah.
Plus 20.
Oh, even better. 5 degrees of success.
Oh, nice.
I'm not going to bother rolling then.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just asked the question without really looking, but
So as you climb out the tunnel comes sort of up this way. As it's sort of where you actually come out is around here.
Yep.
Around this bit here. Sorry, you come out roughly around this bit here. So any paths that go where you think they are, there's no specific paths that lead off from where it comes out. There are some that lead off further. You can see there's some well trampled stuff that leads off sort of further down that way. You got 5 degrees, didn't you, Tom?
Mm.
The attack was actually only really a not huge amount of time ago. So what you can see is with that roll, there's some actually undisturbed, some fairly undisturbed tracks, which do head off to the north. But they would still need to go across the road from where it is. So that whatever, if they're using that tunnel, there's no direct route from the forest, from that part of the forest, unless you go across the road.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because they'll have come down past the camp sort of thing then.
Yeah.
Which is obviously what the mercenaries saw. So, yeah, kind of makes some sense. Are I guess just looking around. So I guess the entrance to the tunnel is quite well hidden.
Yeah, I mean, the forests get. I mean, where the forest there is where it kind of gets very thick. So it's kind of like the thinner part of the forest here, where there's not many trees. So it's actually not massively well hidden. But you know it's there, so you can see it. It's not like that. It's just there's some growth and some bushes and stuff around. They've obviously dug it near to some like large bushes, basically. But it isn't massively well hidden. But you probably wouldn't spot it if you were just walking around. It's not a huge opening. It's really only like a big person could just about get through it. None of you are particularly massive, but I mean, but probably a bit of a squeeze for Bert maybe. But that's just the sort of coming down.
Is it something that would be easy to block up?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be what, a meter wide maybe.
Yeah. It's like a doorway, I guess.
Yeah, but it's basically like a thin doorway in terms of size. So you could block it up. The actual depth it goes is about 12 foot. So you'd need to pop quite a bit of stuff down there. But yeah, you could absolutely block it up, dig it out if you wanted to. You know the height of the tunnel is about 5 foot, the height of the tunnel itself, because you're having to crouch as you're going through it. So you know the rough. But yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to spend some time blocking it up, then you absolutely could. Yes.
I don't want to do that right now.
But
it is
I think
in
so.
the realms of possibility.
It needs to be something that we need to consider because it's essentially a kind of a weak way into town, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we
A
should.
weak spot in the defences.
Yeah, well, we can spare 5 minutes, can't we? Just doing something.
You do.
Yeah. Oh, go on.
I say you do see some tracks that come off the road, that come from a different area, that come from like some tracks that literally do head off the road and go straight down there, as opposed to just the ones that go up there as well. So this is potentially a fairly regularly used thing.
Yeah, okay. Possibly lots of comings and goings then from the temple, I guess, or indeed, I guess, what's his Jacob's house? Just getting stuff in and out of town. So yeah, I don't think we need to close it right now, do we? I mean, telling like the town guard about it.
To be honest, I wouldn't close it until the night of the attack, because anything that's covering it up now gives them an inkling that we know about it.
Yeah, that could be fair. I mean, I don't think there's any urgent need unless anyone's got a burning desire to. No, leave it be
I
then.
think that's good. Yep.
Okay, so how are you heading back
We should go back to our camp.
into town, ground in the forest?
Exactly what I was thinking. Spend a bit of time in the camp. Yep.
I don't know what you guys are doing. Sorry.
I think we're going to go back to our little camp.
Okay. So yeah, you can make your way back towards the camp. That's probably the easiest way for you to get back in. The camp's quite busy. Same as before, people are kind of feeling better. The guards outside are sort of the guards outside the town don't seem to be giving them as much of a side eye as they were before. They've been there a couple of days, but they don't seem to be causing any trouble. They're certainly not going out of their way to cause any trouble, and the guards therefore fairly chill about it. It's back in the town. Obviously, it's the afternoon now because you were there this morning. Ad, your mate Jacob is still there. He's still cleaning his weapons. He's down by the river still. He's still cleaning away. Does a little bit of practice, a little bit, but he's all right. Tom, you can't see Carol. She doesn't appear to be there. In fact, none of her stuff. The tent that she was staying in, there's nothing there. Or certainly her bow and stuff is gone. But her bedroll is there still. Tilia, Paul, she does seem to be speaking to Elias, and having sort of still talking to him. And Mishka, Mark, the person you spoke to, the probably a Kislevite, is having a sparring with a couple of the kind of younger members of the group, and he's just sort of seems to be showing them a little bit of sword play. She's pretty well axe play actually. She's pretty good with an axe. She's just fucking to it. That's how she fights basically. She's pretty effective if you don't take your hits. So
It does.
yeah, he does. That's the point. Almost said a name there. We all know it is. There's loads of them. There's loads of them.
There's one in particular.
There's one begins with an M. Okay, yeah. So you hang around the town. You hang around the camp. Is there anything in particular you want to do around the camp, or is it just like kind of stop off point?
I think it's probably just mingle, get our faces seen for a bit. I think before we head back into town.
We don't want to tell anybody about the tunnel.
Well,
I'm not feeling the urge to at the moment.
No, okay. Secret tunnel. That's good.
If we're going to take these lot out into the woods anyway, aren't we? So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need to then. Let's not worry too much.
Okay, so you can spend as long as you want to in the camp. If there's anything you particularly want to do, then yeah. Otherwise, where's your next step?
Cocker, I think, isn't it?
yeah, if Helmet's not right, this letter here where his perfume dinks are, then Cocker.
Let's do it.
Go back to the Low Havens. When did you speak to him last? Was it this morning?
It was this. No, I think it was
Well,
yesterday.
I think we've been pretty much sort of going from Cockers going, oh, we're ashamed this guy died, to just go around his house and killing him straight away.
I think
Yeah.
it was yesterday. I think we went and had drinks with the Merc last night, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Okay. Let's get my little thing up. So you head towards the Low Havens. As you know, as around town, there's a couple of the flagellants that are still around. You can hear their cackling and doomsaying at different parts of town as you make your way there. The town itself is fairly busy. There's actually a market day on at the moment. There's always a market there, but there's quite a lot of trade coming in there at the moment today. It's a fairly busy, bustling day around town. You don't see anything particularly unusual as you're making your way there. And you make your way straight forward, add to the Low Haven compound that you know you've been to a few times. I can show you the Low Haven compound. There you go. So what it looks like now.
Yes.
Yeah. So the way that you get in to the compound is through here. That you know. Obviously, if you're on a boat, you would come in through here. But you make your way to the Low Haven compound, and the guards are fairly familiar with you now. Have you got any questions about any of that, by the way?
Is that Cocker's little office in the top left with the chair and the...
This is Cocker's little office
Oh.
because his office is actually is actually just a massive crate. So he's got this is where you usually go and speak to Cocker. This is the little steps that lead up to what is just a massive supply crate, basically.
it's a piano.
And that is a little piano. You didn't see it.
Oh.
You didn't see it before because it was sort of surrounded by crates and stuff the last time you were here. But that's what you can see. So there's obviously crates and barrels and bags of shit around. These are some bales of hay here. Lots of little boats coming in there. I mean, you generally come in here, go to Cocker's office, and go back out.
Sometimes I give that lady the wink. As well.
Yeah, she sits. There's a little stall. She sits here.
Okay.
And you know that you saw there is a little doorway that comes in at the side of this fence here. Because that's where whatever halfling you saw came in through a sort of small the cat flap. But the one that you saw them go in through the cat flap there, basically. But yeah, the guards are like they're like back again. You want to be careful being seen around here. People will start talking. I suppose you're here to see Mr. Cocker.
Yes, please.
I'll see if he's...
Mr. Cocker, please.
I'll see Mr. Cocker, please. I suppose I was going to see if he's free, and you hear just a shout from inside. Just, oh, don't worry, let him in. And you hear Cocker sort of shouts him in. He takes you in, and your guard brings you through. There's quite a lot of stuff being loaded onto the boats. Not a huge amount of stuff coming off of it, which is, well, there's just more stuff going out than coming in at the moment, basically. It's all sealed crates. None of it is stuff that you recognize, but it's just there's quite a lot of busyness going on around here. Cocker seems very pleased with himself. You can see him kind of little doors open to his chest office, and sort of the little guard there waves you in, and he sort of just, you're back quick, boys. What's up tonight then?
Unfortunate accidents, Cocker, for some people. Well, a person.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah. 1 second. And he shouts out, "Myrtle, close the door." It's Myrtle, the guard outside, close the door for him.
I give her a smile.
Half gone too hot. He goes, "All right, that's sounds like terrible business. Why are you telling me?"
Oh, I thought, you being a sort of a community-minded person might be, useful for you to know.
Oh, well, I mean, fair. Who's had this terrible accident then?
I don't know. I don't know who he is, but he had this on him. I thought you might be able to identify this might be.
He takes it from you, and he gets out like a little magnified monocle things, pots it in, and he sort of starts having oh, very interesting, boys. What do you know about it, though?
Just that he, fortunate accident, he seems to be dead.
Oh, well. Who else knows?
No one.
No one yet. Yeah.
Very quiet.
There was a lot of disturbance in town this morning, right near this individual's place, but yeah, we just found him there.
Oh, yeah, we heard about that.
Yeah,
Wow.
he died during the riot.
He was British.
And
What?
He goes, oh, I think I see what you're saying, boys, and thanks. I think I see what you're saying, boys. Well, that's terribly unfortunate for old Mr. Tanner, then, isn't it?
Is that who it is? Oh.
What a strange twist of fortune.
Well, she does work in strange ways, unfortunately, doesn't she?
Well, what a strange. Well, that is a real shame. Sure, I assume the guards have been informed, have they?
oh, I don't think the guards have found out yet. I mean, it's only a matter of time before someone tips them off.
Well, it'd be a shame to waste having a good look around first, wouldn't it? Well, this is useful, boys. Well, thanks for coming to me with this. I guess it looks like I owe you a lot of favour then, doesn't it?
Oh, well, that's very gracious of you, Cocker.
You keep me informed of stuff like this, and I'll keep up the good working relationship that we got.
Well, thank you very much.
You go. Oh, by the way, I'll have that the coin for the bits we sold off. I'll have that sent to your lodgings once it's all sorted through. Is that all right?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Well, now, anything else you want to tell me?
Not from me. I think the other three.
Well,
I think we're all good.
Well, if there's anything you boys need, you come to old Cocker. I owe you for that information. He puts his fat little chubby hand out. And he kind of just puts his hand out to shake whoever's going to shake his little chubby hand.
I'll shake his little chubby hand.
It's too small. He's a small hand. It's chubby.
His little hand.
Small. And he's fairly strong though. Like he's he's got a good, strong halfling grip. He goes, that's word now. There's some things I won't go back on, so don't forget that. Because now, if you got anything else I can help you with, or as you can see, we're pretty busy around here today, so I need to get back to things.
Okay. Now we'll leave you to your business then, Cocker. Thank you.
And then you hear from the off what would be to this area, the sort of west of the thing. Cocker! And you go, come in. And he sort of hurries you out the door, and he scurries off to the probably about the fastest you've ever seen him going, actually.
Oh, look at those little legs.
And he heads off towards that bit there. And the guard, Myrtle, was like, well, see yourselves out, will you, boys?
Will do.
Okay, see you soon.
There's quite a lot going on there. There's quite a lot of people just kind of like going about their business, and like deckhands and huffers, as they're called, loading stuff on and off the boat. I learned that from the book.
Well done.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Knowledge. And people going around. Are you just leaving the list straight away? Are you speaking to anyone? What's the crack?
I've not got any urge to speak to anyone. If anyone else does, I'm not going to rush it
I'm
out.
going to ask the guard out for a drink.
Myrtle?
Okay, we shall leave you to that then, shall we, Paul?
Yeah, I'll meet you at the camp. I mean, I'm not going out with her now. She's busy. Just, when we get back.
Yeah, she seems to like you quite a lot. We've got you. We let your attractive trait come into play. She's seen you a few times. You've always been friendly to her.
Mhm.
She goes. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere classy though.
Yeah, somewhere classy. I'm up out in the woods for a while, but then I'll see you when I'm back.
You're off to the woods. Oh, that's useful. All right, bye. Is she?
Well,
Um,
I catch up with the boys and go, but one, she's pretty, and two, it'd be really good to get them in on what Cocker's up to.
What's Francesca going to think?
Like
At least I'm faithful. At least I only got one.
My love for Francesca isn't like carnal; it's more spiritual, and like the carnal love.
You go on about her all the time.
That's because you want to get her murdered.
it's based off that 10-minute conversation
it's not
we
our
had.
fault she fell in with the wrong crowd, is it?
Not my fault. She's a cultist.
Life is short in the Empire. Like, you have to make relationships very quickly. You speak to an NPC for 10 minutes.
About 3.5 minutes, and then go on your way.
It's legit to fall in love after 10 minutes. That's basically a fucking lifetime in roleplay land. It's fine.
Okay. Met you twice. Get married. Yeah,
it's fun. Okay, so you heading out you go back to the camp to prepare your powerful troops.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so what's the plan of how you're going to go about this? So
okay, so actually, on the way, I'm going to have a chat to these three. So, do we want to write this letter?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you should say, "Dear Mr. Tomash, your benevolent friends have found this thing in Mr. Tanner's house. He's a cultist. Boo.
Yeah.
Feel free to do something against the temple, maybe. We're going to investigate cultists in the woods."
Maybe not suggest that bit. Maybe just go, feel free to investigate. By the way, he's got a secret drawer in his desk.
Well, he's going to find the tunnel, though, if he searches the house well, isn't he?
Love and kisses, helmet.
He's all looks and no brain. He's not going to find the little door, the drawer in the desk if we don't tell him. Sorry for being offensive about your man helmet.
It's all right. He's going to be alive in a week. Yeah, so Pell, outline the letter, say, you want to check this address.
Yeah.
Tell them about the tunnel.
Okay.
And I think that is, and mention that the tunnel there's several tunnels leading off to different directions. And that is going to be it.
Okay, so all you're sending a letter to the witch hunter that says, go to this address, have a look around.
I'm also going to put in the letter that I found as well.
Okay. Okay.
Please find attached.
Okay.
And the one with the illustrations.
The little special helmet special drawings.
Mm-hmm.
How did that get in there? Okay, cool. So the letter says, Go to this house. Here's this letter. Here's the evidence I've got. Go to this
Yeah.
house. There's also some tunnels
And the drawer in the desk.
and the drawer in the desk.
Drawer in the desk, yeah.
Drawer in the desk. Okay, cool.
Observe the brick that's very close to.
I do a little scribble of the crime scene. Yeah.
This is where we think the window was broken by the brick.
Make sure to
The
draw
brick
off
with
2
his head.
tails on the brick as well.
Yeah.
I think also draw like a little
Sigma's brick
symbol of
comment.
Sigma on the brick, because the brick was clearly doing Sigma's work.
Yes.
The twin-tailed
Oh,
brick
didn't
comet.
we make it look like it was done by Sigma, like Sigma Fanatics?
We did
Made
make it look like there was a bit of a right in there, yeah.
You did
Yeah.
hit him with a brick, yeah. Like,
It's just, you know, a budget Hammer of Sigma, isn't it?
can you cast the Comet of Casadora spell? I can't, but I do,
I love this.
Do you have a brick?
I do have the brick of Bert. This is a casting level 1. It's easy.
It's got a brick. It's hard. It's really hard if you haven't got a brick.
Yes, it's very hard. Yeah, that's the only like region that you need for the spell is a brick. That's it. Okay, so yeah, you can write the letter. I don't know that you know where he's staying, but someone will be able to tell you where he's staying. It's not going to be like hard to find out where a witch hunter is staying when they're in town because they make themselves pretty well known.
Yeah.
Are you sending off your other messenger who's not out on the road somewhere at the moment?
I'm just going,
Well,
I don't know what to
Which
do.
one's out on the roads?
Uh,
Bold or
bold,
Bold.
bold's on the road.
Just add that to my notes.
But he's probably in Kemperbad by now.
Oh, good.
Oh yes, he's made it there. Realised that
Well,
he's several days too late.
He'll be halfway there by now.
Oh,
It'll-
so Thomas actually doesn't know your affections for him yet.
No, not yet.
It's gonna
He
sting, isn't
knows.
it? In his heart,
He knows.
in his heart, he knows. Okay. So, what's the plan for your? So you're going into the woods.
Go
How?
and gee up our troops, plan to charge into the woods recklessly and make merry with the mutants.
Okay.
Do whatever the fighty boys say. That's my plan.
Yeah, this is a bit of soldier in this, so I'm going to let Burton roll sort this out.
Okay. So it's probably now. It's what? It's about. Probably about 2 in the afternoon now. You did some stuff in the morning, then went and had a conversation with Mr. Tanner. Gone back. So you know it will be getting dark by you don't know where they are at the moment. But you know it would be getting dark by the time you got back to the Red Leaf Bandit camp because you've made that journey before. Just so you're aware in terms of like the time you're taking and stuff.
That's a nice place to stop, though, I suppose, isn't it? Because we know it.
If we were to camp overnight, you mean?
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's got the caves and that sort of stuff, which makes it a bit more secure.
Defensible, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it means there might be a few people left back in sort of outside the walls as well. Just those who are still injured as well.
I didn't think we were going to go and find the mutants in a day. They're not. Did we not know that they're further north than that? Camp?
Yeah.
So we make for the Red Leaf camp today, if we can. And
Yeah, for a while. Like we've no idea where these guys are.
so we go to the camp outside the walls, discuss with them about moving back to their old camp for the day, ready to kind of explore the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're at this point they're fairly amenable to kind of your suggestions. You've not done them wrong at all yet. There's no massive objections. You do have, of course, Amelie, who insists that she wants to come with you, and she's kitted up. She looks like she can have a row if she was 40 years younger. But she, in a perfect Bretonian accent, reminds you that she will be coming.
Do you have a horse, Amelie?
I was just about to say we should find a horse.
She says, "Of course, I can't do the accent today. Of course, I have a horse. I'm from Bretonia," and she sends one of the people, like the kind of camp hands off to go and fetch a horse for her. And she comes back with this. It is a horse, but it's seen better days.
I was going to
Like,
say, please say it's like 30 years old.
Yeah, it's an old horse. Like, it is an old horse. It's seen better days. It's got some kind of some like not barded padding, but it has like a cloth over it with her little symbol on it, which you know of. It doesn't look like I mean, Tom, you're a horseman. You know this horse is not in particularly good nick.
I'm a human, not a horseman.
You're a horseman. This horse doesn't look great. It'll probably make the ride out, but it's not particularly healthy. But it's just an old horse.
I'm just like, oh, isn't he beautiful?
He's lovely, and his name is Chestnut.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nice.
Good name for a horse.
Also, he's a lovely colour. He's a lovely like reddy brown colour. His hair's he's a little bit grey.
I don't want the description. I don't want to know its name because it's not going to survive, mate. I'm going to be upset.
He's got a little tiny grey.
No, it's role-playing rules.
beard.
If you know its name, it's got a better chance of survival.
That is true, yeah. And also, because it's old, it's got like a little. It looks like its chin's going a bit grey, so it looks like it's got a little beard.
That's cute.
Yeah, he's nice. And he's got flaming horns. What?
Oh, wow.
Oh, God. Oh no, that escalated. Okay, so your plan is to go out into the woods, stop over at the Red Leaf camp, and then sort of push further north, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to carry the banner.
Cool. Before we leave, can we seek out the town guard quickly? Like the leader of the town guard?
The leader of the guard, you could probably it'd take you time to go and find him, but there's plenty of guards around that you could sort of speak to.
There's
Sure,
our
we
mate
should
at the
do that.
local gate, isn't there? That we got drunk and he paid for all the drinks.
You got your mate on the gate, yeah. You got gate mate.
Yeah, mate?
So let's inform them that we are heading out, possibly for several days. We're going to try and track down this mutant camp. That maybe they should be aware of that. Keep an eye out, because we're not here to save the town.
Thank you, sir. You'll be sorely missed. Hopefully everything will be fine when you're gone. Sigmar's blessing go with you, sirs. Makes these little comments on you. I'll tell Lord Aldebert that you're heading out. Any other message I can take with you, sirs? Any next of kin I can speak to for you?
No.
No idea.
Okay. Sigmar's blessing, sirs. And he sort of goes back inside. He heads off into the town. Okay, your little fighting band is looking all right, actually. They've got a few swords and stuff. That they got a few of the newer ones from Cocker. You can see that some of the swords they have are ones that have definitely come from Cocker. So he's clearly sold them to someone here.
Because they've got lots of illegal signs on them.
Yeah, this has got big like hazard tape around it.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of the armor they had at the time they've been here, like the scraps of armor they did have, look like they've been repaired as well as they could. Old Jacob, your little mate, his polished soy stuff's all polished up nicely. It looks like a fairly small but fairly well equipped fighting force, really. So you've got what? You four. You also have 10 of the mercenaries who will come with you. Now that you have 10 people that you can take with you. Are you taking any more out than you're meant to have? You just emptying the camp?
No, because I don't think we should take everyone.
No. I think one, it'd be good to have some people just in the camp anyway.
And then maybe one or two to stay at the Red Leaf Bandit camp when we head out the next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So leave a few in the town and then maybe one or two to come with us. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. Well, let's head out into the forest.
Are we taking our special 4 with us, though?
Your special 4. Yeah, what are you doing with your special 4?
I want my special one to come with us because she's like can Peel.
So you got Carol, who is probably a
Right.
poacher. She's your archer / poacher. You've got Mishka, who's your Kislevite axewoman. Tilia, who is your potential apprentice to Vogel. Doesn't look like much of a fighter though. And Jacob, who is your very overconfident young man with his lovely kit.
I think he definitely needs to come out with us. Definitely.
Okay.
He's coming out now.
Right.
I might be
think
hard for
Carol-
him to persuade him not to come along. It's
You
going
know
to be
what?
cheaper, really.
Actually, as we were all just leaving the camp, he was out just outside the camp on a rock doing stretches.
Yeah, he was already out. Yeah,
doing lunges,
he assumed that you'd be taking him.
getting limbered up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's also going. Does anyone else want to? As you could, does anyone else want to come and do some? Does anyone? You should redo these before you. Right, you should do. And no one's really paying much attention, but like someone.
I'll just show you them.
Someone does go over to sort of join in, but then they start showing him what they should. They start,
Perfect.
they show a different. They talk about it for a really long time. And by the time you've kind of marched out a little bit, they're still behind a little bit, sort of doing some stretches. They have to catch up with you. Is Ingrid coming? Is Jacob coming? It's up to not Jacob. Sorry, Lucas.
I don't know. Is he going to come? I think is the question.
You are in command of this thing here. They are deferring command to you. He makes it quite clear that he does want to come.
I would Ingrid and Jacob Lucas to come. Maybe Telia should be one of the people that waits at the cave, so we can fall back to her if we've got injuries. I'm blatantly saying this to Berth and Raoul, who are actually in command. Me and Helmet are mostly there for moral support. I had to walk around the rest of the people and go, aren't they good? Don't they know what they're doing?
Officer.
Yeah, the morale officer.
Raoul's the officer, not me.
Okay, so we've got our four. There's us four. So that's 8 of us.
Can we just get everyone to line up and do a head count, please?
Yeah. Several times.
I'm going to be that person that runs around and gets counted twice.
Yeah, there's enough like blibblobs that you can pack out of as much as you want to. You know that the writ that you have or the mercenary writ allows Amelie and 10 people. That doesn't mean that you can absolutely only take 10 people, but just be aware that your writ only allows for 10.
So Amelie will take 10 with her.
Okay.
And there will be us 4. So that is at least 14, isn't it?
Yep.
Number 1.
So yes, Ingrid and Jacob? No.
Lukesh.
Should be going with that 10. And then we've probably got some blibblobs.
Yep.
Seems
The
okay.
reason really just to get us permission to let them camp near town.
Yeah, it was to bring them in
Not
close, I
really
think, really.
in the mutant camp, I don't think.
No, they're not going to go, oh, hang on, there's only 10 of you are allowed to attack here.
Yeah, it's not like a linear where you're only allowed to take 10. It's just be aware that the legalities of it. Just to be aware.
Yeah, because whatever
So we're
10
taking some.
2 people will gate jump, and then the 10 we want won't come anyway. So let's just take as many as we want.
10 going on the adventure and 10 are going for a walk in the forest.
To guard those going on the adventure.
I mean, also bold of you to assume that it will come back anyway. So as long as only 10 come back, doesn't matter. Does it?
Good point, well made.
Doesn't matter, does it? Cool. So are you leaving anyone in the camp, or are you just emptying it?
There's going to be a couple of people who haven't recovered
Okay.
from injuries and stuff, right? I guess,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Leave the
Yeah.
doctor and the sick, useless people.
Yeah.
So you're an alchemist? Yeah, stay in camp, mate.
And camp, mate. Elias Vogel, he looks very appreciative when you don't pick him to go out and fight. Some people don't particularly. They're clearly concerned about going back outside, but you see Lucas. He sort of instills a kind of sense of duty in them. He's very good at kind of reminding them that these you saved these people, and this is how they're going to get back into the town by doing this work. So absolutely, like they get ready to go. Now there's not a huge amount of like armor and stuff between them. You know, no one's wearing, apart from Ingrid, who's wearing heavy armor. No one's really wearing massive amounts of armor or anything like that. You know, Lucas has got his metal breastplate, but they're not under equipped for a fight. They're just pretty standard people that will go and have a fight. You obviously know Jacob, who's got his nice kit that he got from the shop. He's tried it on. It's his first time out at it. He thinks, well, you think it's definitely his first time out at it. Got a new kit, and you start to head out towards the bandit camp. Which way are you going? Are you going straight into the forest? Are you going along the river? Are you going by bird?
By bird.
Yeah, let's go by bird. Why not?
By bird.
For the eagles.
Easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the route that you're taking?
So wasn't it the quickest way before was by river and then a bit inland, wasn't it? I seem to remember.
That is the quick. If you're going by boat, the quickest way is river land. Yeah. Obviously, you can go through the forest, which is not as exposed, but it is also in the forest and it's a bit slower.
I mean, we just want to get to the camp to set up camp, really, didn't we?
Yeah, let's get there in one piece altogether. So let's just take the slightly slower route. I mean, it's going to be probably darkish by the time we're there anyway.
Yeah. I think if you're going through the forest, it'll be dark by the time you get there. Yeah, or getting dark by the time you get there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way through the forest, and you know the forest gets quite thick quite quickly as you're heading through. Can everyone, just the Tom and Mark, actually the outdoor survival types, can you make outdoor survival checks, please? And these are average, so plus 20.
Yes, pass, but by only a couple of points, no degrees.
So yeah,
and another 5 degrees of success.
Okay, excellent. So as you make your way closer, you get about, first hour goes past, nothing really happens. Second hour goes past, you head your way through. You're quite deep in the forest by this point. Let me just get my little map up so I can see it. You're quite deep in the forest by this point. You're about maybe 2 hours away from the camp, you would imagine, judging by how far you've been. Rolled, are you on your horse, by the way, Rolled?
Yeah, I think I'll be on my horse along with Emily. I guess maybe sort of, yeah, not quite leading. Maybe we'll have a scout out in front.
Everyone's in people are not in, I wouldn't say they're in good spirits because they're in a dark forest and everything, thing, but this is the kind of, there's certainly a sense of camaraderie around. And as you head a bit further out, you get there, you started to notice quite a lot of cracked trees, and some that have been chopped down fairly recently. These, you don't recall seeing this the last time you came through, which was a few days ago. You also then see a not inconsiderable amount of tracks that head off towards what would be in the way you're going, basically. Obviously, the way you're going is quite open at the moment because you're still a couple of hours away. But you see a fair amount of tracks that head off. With that roll, actually, I think you would probably guess there to be somewhere between 10 and 15 different sets of tracks.
Are they hooves or boots?
They're mostly barefoot, actually. Most of them appear to be barefoot. You do see a repeated one that is.
There's a camp of bears.
There's a what? Sorry.
Camp of bears ahead.
Camp of lovely bears. You do see one. There is a noticeable heavy boot. What is heavy booted set of tracks. That's not you see less of those tracks, but there is one set of heavy booted tracks. But yeah, you that's what you see.
Cool. So we should take caution, everybody. There may be trouble ahead. Ooh.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't see anything. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wait for
I'm
someone
just
to
like,
go,
no, look at me. I've got a banner. I'm involved.
I'm one of the gang as well.
Yeah.
So you make your way towards the. You just sort of. How are you approaching what is going to be the camp?
Oh, we should send Carol out in front, do her poachy, scouty, explory
Thing.
get killed first.
Okay. So the rest of the gang is sitting around, or standing around waiting, or is she just going off ahead?
I think we sort of progress slowly together, and then she'll maybe head out doing a little bit of scouting in front.
Okay. So when you go deeper in, it's pretty dark now, because you're actually quite deep into the forest, not necessarily because of the time of day it is, and you can start to. The sounds of the creatures in the forest starts to change. It's not kind of like chirpy, nice birds anymore. It does become the kind of the growls and howls and stuff that aren't uncommon in these parts. You know, there are wolves and bears. It starts to become a bit more ominous now, though. And the closer that you get to the camp, that maintains. She goes out and she heads off and whispers for you to stay back. You're about 20 minutes out now. She goes out off into the forest forwards. Everyone make a perception check. It's going to have to be perception for this
Nice.
one.
Nice.
It's quite hard. So I'm going to say just a standard. Just a standard, actually. So 0.
yes, but by no degrees.
Yes, on the nose with my reroll.
No 3 degrees of failure.
Of course, obviously.
I rolled a 5 under 23. So 2 degrees.
Okay. So Paul, you passed, didn't you?
Yes.
Just pass, yeah?
Just to pass. Yeah.
So anyone who just passed, so I think that's poor Mark, you hear the sounds of fighting somewhere. You can hear the sound of metal on metal. You have no idea where. You just hear it off in the forest somewhere. But you probably picked it up a little bit before them, and you hear it probably like it goes on for about 10-20 seconds maybe, and you could definitely hear it off sort of northeast, so not quite where the camp is, just off a little to the right of where the camp would be. That kind of area, you hear it from a distance.
Well, just reload that, but it sounds like it's nearest the camp. You not think she's been caught, do you?
She might have been. We should probably go and hurry up.
Yeah.
What do we think this is like? Is this slavers common around here, Pell?
Slavers isn't particularly common in Reichland, but like mutant bands,
thinking like loads of for people and
yeah, it's not particularly common in Reichland. The further north you get, the more common it is. But yeah, it's not a massive thing here.
What do we think this is? Right.
If the fight went on for that long, she's probably not outnumbered by too much. So I think we're probably safe to if we all go.
Yeah, moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a rough direction at all? And
Like that
I
way.
guess it's
I'll point in the rough direction I thought I heard it come from.
Yeah, you know where the camp is, and Bert sort of points slightly to the right of where that is, basically. How are you approaching this area? Are you just fucking steaming forwards? Are you?
someone on a horse and leave everybody else behind.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think probably a mixture, not sort of just running through the woods blindly, but with haste. I think probably.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I'm going to try and go out, like, deliberately try not to spot things just in case, like, I pick up anything with my sixth sense and that sort of stuff. Just kind of walking, being aware, but not trying to be distracted.
Yep, fair. So as you head out, you pick up the pace a bit. So it only takes you sort of 10 minutes to get up to where you are. As you kind of veer towards the right where the camp is, you can see just a handful of figures who are in a clearing, and you can't make out what they're saying, but there's an argument in a clearing to the right. Are you stealthily approaching, or are you just going forwards? Actually, there's like 20 of you. They're gonna hear you.
No way we stealth.
Yeah. There's like 20. Yeah. So as you get,
Are they people?
stealth
Are they people? Are
on.
they mutants?
you can't
Do
see from
your
your eyes.
stealth.
Sorry, Ed.
Want Tom to do his horse stealth.
Horse stealth, sneaky horse. The closer you get, as you sort of approach, you hear a shout of alarm, and the figures turn to you. There's a figure laying on the floor. Again, you can't quite make it out because it's blocked by the figures around it. There's a figure on the floor with a spear sticking out of it, and the rest of the mutants there's 4 that turn towards you, turn towards the gang, turn towards your crew, and step back in kind of like shocked. Really, they've not noticed you until you're fairly close. You're probably 60 foot away or something, maybe 100 foot away. They've not noticed you until this point, and then they see 20 human soldiers come out of the forest towards them, and they look towards you, look to the figure on the floor, and go to make a bolt off towards where you know the camp is.
Where the Red Leaf camp was.
Where the Red Leaf camp is / was.
I think that's going to have to be a charge on the horse as best I can and as quick as I can.
I'm going to start using those there arrows that I've got to shoot them.
Yeah. Okay. Roll. You can get. They've got to come up across you, so I think that you can get a charge on them. Amelie as well. She spurs her horse and she kicks aside and goes running. She's hanging. She's holding it. She's holding a sword in her hand, and she's probably to go. But are you readying a bow? You say?
Yeah, I'll shoot when I can.
Yeah, let's do an initiative round just on this, just to see. I'll do the mutants. Oh, okay, they're pretty quick.
That's D10 plus your
Initiative
10
bonus,
of your initiative, isn't it?
That's how we're doing it. Yeah.
5 for me.
12 for me.
Okay.
Oh, 10 for me.
Okay. I actually rolled a 10 for them, so they're on 13. So they are going to go first. 9. Cool. So they start sprinting off into the forest or towards the camp. You don't recognize anything. As they're running off, the closer you get, you can see these are mutants. They're like twisted limbs. They're not completely like really over the top, like tentacle stuff. There's twisted limbs. They're not wearing many clothes. They're kind of got ragged trousers on. They don't have any shoes on. The weapons they're carrying are a mixture of things that they have. You see one that seems to be considerably faster and outpacing the rest, though. It has a bow slung over its back. And it actually looks dressed in, like, now you're quite close up, looks dressed in actually pretty nice clothes. And as you see it literally sprint off into the forest with the role that it got, it turns towards you. So you get the view of like half of its face it looks very human. It's only when they turn to see you can see the other half is really bestial, and a couple of like small horns coming from the side of it. And it looks towards you and heads off into the forest. As it does, it turns and backhands one of the ones that's running next to it. That then sort of stumbles and rolls in front of you. So yeah, that's its turn and their turn as they start to run off. One of them, however, has stacked it. The other ones haven't got as far away as they would have liked to. Tom, oh sorry, whoever was next.
Was it me with 12?
I actually didn't write it down. Yeah.
Right, so there's some distance away, aren't they?
They're a good distance away. Yeah.
Yeah. Draw the sword and buckler and start running full pelt towards them. Then I think.
Yep. Okay. We'll do a chase bit in a second. Then. really it's Tom and anyone on a horse or anyone with a bow is going to get an attack, and then we can do a bit of a chase. So you charging one down then, Tom?
Yep.
Okay,
So Berth's probably going to be going before me, I think.
I got a 9.
Yeah, I got a 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they're all gone, so yeah.
Is that the quick one? Is he within bow shot still? Or is he off?
I think I'll give you a bow shot him.
I was going to ask the same about slingshot.
I think he's out of sling range.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can get a bow shot. I'll give you a bow shot him. He's not trying to dodge because it's sprinting off and hasn't really managed to pick out individual things. He's not going to dodge or anything like that. So yeah, just take a shot at him, Mr. Schrocker.
What's the normal to hit?
Just your standard ballistic skill.
That's a miss then. Yeah, 2 degrees.
Do you want to re-roll?
Yeah, I will actually, because I never use my rerolls.
So you can also use fortune.
The same roll, so I was meant to not hit him.
Okay, and so you can use fortune to like add a success and stuff. So you can add 1 success. But if you've got 0 successes, then
Got one. I got 2 failures actually. So.
Fortune, fate is the one that's hard to get back, isn't it? That's the styling.
Yeah, fate is your fate. Your fortune is the same as your fate, but you spend fortune, it replenishes, and fate you burn it and it's gone, and that then affects your fortune as well. You also have resilience and resolve, which is the same sort of thing, but that's to like ignore critical wounds for a turn and resist mutations and stuff like that.
Cool.
So as you take a ping at it, this thing is really sprinting off into the forest basically, and it just hares off towards the camp, and your arrow goes thudding into the floor like beside it. It was probably actually a pretty good shot that you should have on it, but this thing was quick.
What were the rules we had for advantage? Is it every time you miss?
If you miss, you get +10 on the next one.
What, +10 now, right?
Yeah.
We've not been doing that, I don't think.
No, we haven't been doing it at all. But I've not been doing it for the monsters either. So
yeah, we also haven't really missed. We did suspiciously well.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, against those mutants in the town, we sort of bulldozed them, didn't we?
Yeah, you did roll very well. So yeah, you now have advantage. Adds like you got +10 to your. You keep that for the rest of the combat. Rolled. Nehemiah, it's actually Nehemiah, but are you doing anything?
I'm going to slingshot one of them.
Yeah, you can get a sling on one. The ones that kind of rolling away. Get a little sling on him.
I totally miss.
Oh, okay. I mean, this is like probably the most amount of baddies you've ever seen in one place, Nehemiah. Oh, no, it's only 4. No, it's not too bad actually. So yeah, you send a slingshot off into the rolled.
I mean, it's just a rock, isn't it? So I'm
it's just rock.
Right, charge.
Yes. So charging gives you 1 advantage.
Okay.
So it basically gives you +10. Also, because you're on a horse, you're actually large, and then means they fear you. So I'll roll a fear for them.
And then run away.
They don't like the sight of a 2 human horse people coming after them, and they visibly seem to cower as your hooves are stomping up behind them. And yeah, so take a swing at one if you want to, Mr. Waxler.
Bear with me, I dropped my dice on the floor.
Oh, the suspense is killing me.
I know. Oh. I'm going to spend a fortune to reroll that.
Okay.
The 77.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I get a...
That's what I rerolled earlier.
Yeah. So 41, so that is... So 61, so that's 2 degrees of success.
It has no degrees of success on its dodge. And it failed by 1. So you actually get 3 degrees of success you count as.
Okay, so that's damage of 4 plus my strength, isn't it?
Yep.
Plus you
But you need location.
well.
Yeah, I don't worry about allocations. We'll only really roll those
so
when they have like
8. It's just strength and damage of the weapon, isn't it?
plus success levels.
So it's 11.
11. Yeah, you slice down into this mutant, taking a decent chunk out. Yeah, in fact, you say what you're doing.
Yeah, so I guess I slash one right across the back as I ride by, taking it down.
Yeah, it does. It falls to the floor, and you can hear it. This human form kind of mewling horribly as you slash it across the back. It's not dead yet, but it's certainly not in a good way. And it is continuing to run as it kind of does like a forward roll and stumbles back up as you slice it. Amelie will do the same. In fact, you know what? She might just finish it off. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to finish it off, or do you want us to kill a different one?
She's pretending she's going to be going for a different one, isn't she?
Yeah,
she's
cool.
not gonna be,
Yeah, it's fine. So she goes swinging in, swings her sword, but she clearly hasn't swung her sword for quite a long time as it just sweeps over the top of the head of this mutant as he's running off. But she hasn't stopped. You know, she doesn't seem disheartened by it. She seems quite perky about it. Just carries on.
Cool.
But you know what? Actually, because her horse doesn't have the skittish trait that your one does, it is actually a trained horse. The horse is going to give it a little trample as well.
Oh, nice.
Horse hits, and the mutant really
make it home, but this horse is going to save us.
Okay, so I rolled 31 for the horse's weapon skill. Horse hits.
Yep.
I then rolled 88 for the dodge of the mutant, which is a critical fail.
Yep.
So I'm just going to say the horse just stoves its head in.
Amazing.
Just two hooves, just poof, straight into the back of the head.
Nice.
Amelie obviously claims the kill.
Yes, as I think is right.
It's her horse. Old Chestnut. Chestnut's got first blood.
Chestnut.
Chestnutter.
Absolute chestnutter. So you've killed one. There's one on the floor. There's one that's sprinted off. So there's still one other that is running off into the forest. I'm going to give you one more round to have a guy in before you're chasing, aren't you, Helmet?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So as you're chasing him, we'll do like an opposed agility check.
Agility check. Yeah.
Yeah. Agility.
Can I bring my athletic bonus in?
That's more for jumping than running.
Right.
Yeah.
More urban stuff, more even terrain.
It's jumping rather than running, I think, for big legs.
All right.
But if you, what am I trying to think of doing? Not agility, athletics. Sorry.
Athletics. Yep.
Cool. So we're just doing we'll do an opposed athletics check. It scored 31.
I'm going to use a fortune to reroll that.
Yep.
12 I rolled.
Okay.
And by that, athletics is 34. So 2 successes degrees.
Yeah, it's not got any successes. It's just passed. So you can I'll let you catch up with it. What are you doing? Are you trying to bring it down, or are you?
Yeah, I'll put a swing in towards the back of its legs.
Yep, sure. So yeah, take a swing at it. You don't have the strike to stun skill on it, do you?
I do not know.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so you just take a swing at it, basically. It will try and dodge. 50.
Ooh. Okay, I missed by like 3 points, but it's a miss.
What have you rolled?
47, and my weapon skill is 42.
So you've got like no degree of success, but
Yeah.
it's got 2 degrees of failure. So you do still hit
Okay,
it.
so that back out.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So you still hit it for 2.
Okay, so D6 damage, isn't it?
No, it's strength plus success levels plus weapon damage, which is 4. I think
it's flat, isn't it? So 4
flat.
strength. Yeah, so 4, 5, 7. Yeah, 10.
So you take a swipe at it. Don't quite catch it a good blow, but you get it a good, like a decent smash, but it's not a killing blow. But again, it's because it's sprinting off. I'm going to say it goes prone because you just caught behind it and clonged it around the back. So that one's prone. Rolled has almost killed one that's running away. The one has had its head stoved in by Chestnut, absolute Chestnut, and yeah, there's that's it. Roll. Do you want to try? In fact, you can just finish this one off if you want to. Roll. It's fine.
Yeah, I get 6. So
yeah, there we go. So the ones that you did here, you've killed a couple. Helmet, if you want to just finish off the one that you've put onto the floor, or keep it alive, it's up to you.
Keep it alive, please.
Yep. Yeah. So do an opposed strength check on it, because it's going to try and break free. It looks like a person. They look fairly human. They have 48.
Oh, 92. Yeah, they've managed to throw me off. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they as you try to pin it down, it throws you off, and it's going to take a swing at you as well.
Oh, cheeky.
Yeah. 29, but you will get a chance to parry or.
I will get a chance to.
Yeah.
So dodge is basically just your dodge. I'm assuming your dodge skill.
There's no real reason to dodge unless you're going to get hit too hard, like something that's going to hit, because like parrying gives you a better chance to, unless your dodge is better than parrying, because parrying gives you a chance to like strike back if you get a critical.
Yeah, I'll parry because it's better and gives me a chance to do that.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll parry. 66, which is actually, I'm going to spend another fortune point because that's a critical fail.
That is a critical fail.
13. So yes, that is a good parry by 3 degrees.
It's a good job you parried that. So yeah, obviously it's bleeding. It takes a swipe at you with just a fairly standard mace. Just goes to swipe, you parry it out of the way, no problem.
Cool.
But it's now sort of cornered and fighting. So, but do you want to do anything?
Is that the only one left that we can see?
That is the only one. There's the only one left. There is still the figure that's on the floor with a spear sticking out of it in the middle of the camp, or the middle of the area. Sorry.
Is it really hard to shoot into combat in this?
Yeah, I think it's like -20.
I'll shoot into combat.
Yeah.
Don't you kill Chestnut.
I'll run over to the body with a spear in it.
Yeah. Okay. So you run over to the body.
Wait till after combat.
Yeah. We can finish this one off. Like by now, there's enough people around that you can kind of bundle this mutant down.
Yeah.
Do you want to still try and keep it alive?
Yeah, I'm assuming as more and more people come around, it's going to realise if it fights, it's just going to get killed.
Yeah, basically.
So, yeah.
You can see it's like it looks fairly human. Its face is a little twisted. It's got only has 4 fingers on each hand. But they look like a sort of ugly person. Really, they're not massively twisted. The one you see on the floor, as the figure you see on the floor, you step forward, looks like no one that you recognize. And as you roll the body over, you can see they have an extra eye coming from their cheek, and their tongue is fat and just hanging out of their mouth. But it doesn't appear to be anyone that you recognize.
I'm going to try and undress them a little bit to look for the tattoo, the symbol.
So yeah, while they're dealing with that, this one on the floor that you see doesn't have that tattoo that you can see.
Okay.
I mean, it's not hidden on their body. I mean, you don't find it.
I got what you meant.
Yeah. So this mutant is now surrounded by a bunch of soldiers. Helmet, you can eventually it realizes that it can't deal with you, and just starts to kind of spit and speak in a language you don't really understand. It's a bit like you hear the odd sort of Reichsbill word that's basically scum, death, but the rest you don't really understand, unless any of you speak mutant.
Yeah,
it's like a dialect of Reichsbill, so you'll be able to pick up some things in it, but it's heavily accented with lots of other sort of words that you don't recognize. Pigeon, Reichsbill, and it just beats its chest and looks at you and just holds its neck up.
Roll, this one doesn't really speak much Reichsbill. Have you got any use for it?
No, unless it can tell us how many are in the camp.
What do you know about the prince that's coming?
As you say the word prince,
Yeah.
it kind of like looks at you surprised and barks something at you. And you make out the words death. You also actually, Namar, you're quite well traveled. So you hear what you know is like the words of a curse, basically. You hear the word curse in a thickly accented Reichspiel or thickly regional Reichspiel.
Well, you know something, but can't tell us except for trying to curse us.
Give it a shrug and I'll finish it off.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's bleed. It's in trouble. You put it down.
Should we be doing with something with the body to leave it as an example?
I think we should just press on to the camp. It's close. We've already missed one of them, so
Okay.
I think we just get rid of it.
Yep.
You're in charge.
So you just heading towards the main camp, or the Red Leaf camp.
Yeah.
I think we have to try, do we? Unless we want to turn back now. There may be lots of them and they're ready for us. So
There's lots of us, though, isn't there?
There are lots of us. Maybe
There are
next time I won't miss with my sling.
You make your way towards the camp. Are you just pressing on as standard? Are you trying to sneak in or anything?
I'm assuming our scout should still be out somewhere, shouldn't she?
Yeah, she should.
Yeah, we haven't seen her for a while. Poor Carol. She's got a name and everything.
Yeah, that's quite odd.
As you're
not the dead one on the floor, is it? Carol wasn't the person that was
Not unless she
stabbed.
grew an extra eye.
no, it wasn't.
Okay.
No. So as you know, after the fight, Jacob turns to you, but that was exciting, wasn't it? Didn't do anything. That was exciting. Mishka hasn't even drawn her axe. She sort of looks disdainful. She hasn't even bothered to draw her axe. Lukash is one of the ones that helped you to kind of pin down the Ingrid. Same. Ingrid's like, she's pretty stoic. She's looking out towards the forest. Yeah. We'll have a little break while they dimble off. There we go. Yeah, Ingrid's like looking out towards the forest, but they make urgent calls. We need to go and find Carol.